What's up, everybody? My name's Parasite. Welcome back to the Jose Mourinho Challenge with Sporting. Today we have Dynamo Kyiv in the Champions League playoff second leg and Benfica in the Liga Portugal. The Kyiv game, pretty important. If we win today, we get to the group stage of the Champions League, and we have a 3-1 advantage after the first leg. It should have been 3-0 because they only had one shot on target, but of course they scored that one shot on target. We absolutely dominated them in the first leg. It should have been 3-0, and I would have been much more comfortable. 3-1, a little bit nervy, but we still should be able to get it done. The league, though, I'm rotating a little bit for this Kyiv match because we have gotten off to a horrible start in the league. We have played two bad teams and have failed to beat either of them. So we have 2 points through 2 games. Benfica have started out absolutely ridiculously, like they did last year, just destroying every single team they play, including Porto. They started off beating Moreirense 2-0, beat Braga 5-1, beat Porto 5-1, and then beat Belenenses 3-0. Compared to our results, which we played Guimarães, drew 0-0, even though we were the much better team, beat Kiev 3-1, and then played Boavista, drew them 1-1. We were creating plenty of chances. Boavista match was a little bit more close than it should have been. They were in that match. 1-1 might not have been the wrong result, but we've been creating a lot of chances. We just cannot freaking score. And I'm not playing backups. Sorloth and Sesko started this match. Guimarães, I do think DK played, but he apparently played well, got a 7.2. Just no one else is stepping up to get goals right now. Unless we're playing Kiev or AZ in the Champions League, apparently, at home. We're scoring 3 goals in each of those, but other than that, we cannot freaking score. It took till the 90th minute to score a goal against Benfica. We couldn't score against AZ in the first leg. We can't score against Guimarães. Only score 1 against Boavista. If we don't get a result here against Benfica, draw at the minimum, the way they've started the league, they might already be too far ahead. I don't expect them to, drop off from being able to beat Porto 5-1 to not being able to beat teams like Rio Ave or Gil Vicente. So we're going to have to play a lot better if we're going to have a chance of winning this league. And that's going to start today against Benfica. We have to show up, but we have to show up against Kiev first. We do have a couple of days left in the transfer window. We have actually brought in a player, another regen, because actual good players are impossible to find. But he's actually really good. He's actually a player we'd agreed to sign a little bit ago. Pretty expensive, 10 million, raising to 10.75. But he's pretty nuts. Mexican regens in this game are just absurd. I think they have some of the best regens in the game. Literally, of the top 50 Wonder Kids, I think 3 of the top 10 were Mexican strikers. And this is one of them. Oscar Gonzalez. At 18 years old, he's 2.5 stars for us with 4.5 star potential, but 17 finishing, 17 anticipation, 17 off the ball, 17 technique at 18 years old. The rest of his numbers aren't bad either. 14 composure, 13 decisions, dribbling, first touch, not bad. Pace is really the big area that lets him down. Only 11 pace, 12 acceleration, and he's only 5'11". But he's just really good. His passing's not even that bad. So, yeah, I really like Oscar Gonzalez. So he's come in. And then just a youngster that is at some club we're affiliated with. I think Club in our division came in for him. And I'm like, well, he's free, so I might as well sign him. 3-star potential, not terrible. Just a depth player for us in the youth leagues. So he's actually got some pretty good numbers, actually. 17 handling, 19 punching, aggression, determination. He's not bad. So not a big deal, though. He came in, got loaned out back to his club we got him from. Some other loanees have gone out. Burak Ince, Lewis Nielsen, Bruno Tiago, the young good striker regen we have that I don't know if he's developed literally at all since he's generated. He's been a 1.5 star player since the moment he generated as a youth player. So a little bit frustrating. He's not really improving, but he's gone out on loan, hopefully to get some first team football, maybe spur that development on. But for this match, I have done a little bit of rotation because the Benfica match is literally just in 3 days. So I need a lot of players fit for that. DK comes back in to play next to Sorloth. Sesko's going to get a little bit of a break. Santos is going to come in at attacking midfield. Ugarte is going to come in the midfield. Dyer is going to come in, but that's a necessity because Polina is suspended. And at the back, the only change is Vinagre is coming in at left back. Other than that, expected back line, I thought it was pretty important considering we need to hold on to a lead. So I want to keep a strong back line. Hopefully we can put in a good performance today, though, just because we're going to have to be playing well if we're going to have a chance of beating Benfica. If we play against Kyiv and lay another stinker, I don't see how we're gonna completely do a 180 and dominate a team like Benfica or be able to beat a team like Benfica. So a good performance today, even though we have a good advantage, is going to be very important. Hopefully we can get it done. Forget all about that first leg and approach this match with nothing but 100% focus. Kyiv have nothing to lose here. It doesn't matter to them if they lose 1-0 or 10-0. The same thing's going to happen. So they're going to be pushing for this win and to overturn the deficit. Saying that, we can't get away from our brand of football. I don't want to defend for 90 minutes. I want to play our brand of football, being aggressive, being positive, and looking to score some goals. We've got a big match with Benfica coming up, and we've not been scoring nearly enough. So we need to work on that today. Let's score a few goals, all the while remaining solid defensively. Are you hopeful of a performance today? I don't see why we're not capable of turning up and playing well here. It's never ideal to lose players to suspension, of course, but is it perhaps easier when João Palhinha misses out on what many people consider a more comfortable match for Sporting? There's no such thing as an easy match, and it'd be disrespectful to Kyiv to suggest that. You've left Bergman Johansson out today despite being in good form. What's the thinking there? It's just squad rotation. That's the nature of the beast these days. Got a lot of games coming up, a lot of important games. So I need to keep players fit. 3-1 advantage. First highlight's going to be with us, though. 35 seconds in, and we're going to have a goal kick. DK is going to win it to Sorloth. Looks for Nuno Santos. Nunez, back to DK, back to Nunez. And he scores a goal. His first goal of the season. That was some really good interplay between our strikers and our midfield. DK heading it down to Sorloth, back to, I think it was Santos, back to DK, back to Nunez, back to DK, back to Nunez. That was really good. You don't see that very often with this team, especially how close quarters that are. The passing there was so good. The 1-2 between Mateus Nunez and DK, getting around the goalkeeper and slotting into the back of the net. Nunez doesn't score a lot, so it's good to see him scoring a goal here. And we're going to have another highlight. 3 minutes in, Ruben Aguilar. Looking to put in a cross. He's been really good to start this season. He's leading the team in assists and in average rating. Nuno Santos picks it up, though. Vinagre. Been very good for us the last couple of years. Back to Mateus Nunez. Back to Vinagre. Going to put in the cross. DK at the back post. Is going to hit the post. But we still have a chance. Dyer wins the ball from the goalkeeper. Aguilar's going to get in on his right-hand side. He's going to just keep it in. But he's going to lose it. And that's probably going to be the end of the highlight. And it is. But the highlights keep coming. Mateus Nunez now. Deep free kick. Aguilar gets on it. Running through the middle. Finds Mateus Nunez. Back to Ugarte. Nuno Santos out wide, which is a place he's comfortable playing. He should be all right being out on the flanks. Aguilar, though, desperately puts in a ball for Ugarte. Nuno Santos! What a save. But he gets... Oh, wait. I don't know if... I think that was offside. I think it hit one of our players that was offside, but that was weird. Nuno Santos would... I mean, that save by the goalkeeper was ridiculous. Falls back to Nuno Santos, and the shot was pretty terrible. But it deflects off somebody and goes in, but it is disallowed. I think it hit Sorloth, I want to say. I mean, they're giving Malish Solende the goal, but I don't know. Let me see what happened here. Okay, what? So it's offside from the first shot, which none of our players touch, and none of them are in front of the goalkeeper. I gotta go back. I don't know about that. I need to see that again, because they weren't calling the offside on the actual shot that went in off the deflection. They were calling the offside off of the first shot, which was saved by the goalkeeper. So this shot here, no one's offside. The shot is being made. Oh, yeah, that's the second one. Oh, we need to go back even further. I think from here. Ugarte pulls it back. Again, no one's offside. That guy is leaving everyone on. And the goalkeeper makes the save. And then we put the ball back in. Still, no one's offside. It doesn't hit one of our players. It hits one of their players and goes in. And it's disallowed. FM? I don't know why you're stealing that goal away from me, but that's frustrating. It's a 100% legitimate goal. There is no foul on our part whatsoever. Never was a player offside, and even if they were offside, they weren't really close to the goalkeeper at all. So they're not obstructing his view. So I don't know why they called that off. That is ridiculous. 27 minutes in, throw in from our right-hand side. Goes all the way back to the center backs, into Dyer. Mateus Nunez Over to Vinagre. Nice ball to Vinagre. He's got a lot of time to put it into the box. He finds DK's head, but he heads it just past the far post. There's going to be a goal kick. It's going to be Kyiv to take it. A lot of these times recently, this has ended up being our highlights, and it looks like it might be it again. We win the knockdown, and a nice ball to Sorloth. What a finish. In off the bottom of the crossbar, and Nuno Santos, I believe, gets the assist. So we've had some very good passing in the attacking areas this game, like between our strikers, our attacking midfielders, and even guys like Ugarte and Mateus Nunes. Playing very well together. DK lays it off to Santos. First time ball through to Sorloth. One touch, left foot, off the bottom of the crossbar. That should be it. 4-goal lead at this point. We've been the much better team this game. I think we're good. Probably can make some subs at halftime even. We're going to have another highlight here, 32nd minute, and eventually one of these highlights are going to be for Kyiv. And this one might actually be they win the header, but it goes over, so it's a nothing highlight for Kyiv. 42nd minute, goal kick for Kyiv. This might be the last highlight of the first half. And it's going to be probably our highlight. Souza with the ball. Going up to DK. We've won every single one of these headers from our strikers over their center backs. This one, though, didn't quite fall to one of our players. And so they have the ball going down this right-hand side looking to attack. I think that's Matt Ulasunde, the former, I think, United player. Ooh, somebody missed the header. I think that's Ignacio. So they are through on goal, but he puts it just wide. Their biggest threat of the game. And it will be halftime. 2-0 advantage, 47 minutes in. Only 4 shots on target. We scored 2 of them. That's a lot better than what we've seen recently. We've been pretty clinical. But, I mean, I don't think we're dominating this match as much as I'd like. Considering it's Kyiv. I know it's away from home, but they're in this match. Like, it hasn't been completely one-sided, no matter what the scoreline says. But saying that, with the 4-goal advantage, I think we're going to be okay. I can make some subs at halftime, take off some important players like maybe Ignacio and Sorloth. The rest of the team's got enough rotation that I think we can make those changes and feel pretty good. So, yeah, good first half. You're doing brilliantly. Keep going. I would like to see a few more shots on target, though. But when we've had a chance, you've done well. Some of the interplay in the attacking third has been fantastic, and the finishes have been pretty fantastic, too. That's what I like to see. This second half, we're going to slow things down a little bit. We've got an important match coming up in a few days, but that doesn't mean you can take the second half off. I still want to play our game. Maintain your defensive responsibilities and play with positivity. 76 minutes in, before we get to this highlight, I made a change at halftime to the tactic, actually. I wanted to take off Sorloth, and the striker on the bench was Sesko, so I didn't really want to bring Sesko on. So I decided to change formation a little bit. Went to a 4-1-4-1, played a little bit more cautious, looking to hold on to the ball a little bit more. Waste time, not quite yet, but lower the intensity. I'm looking to lower the intensity. I don't want players getting injured. I don't want players getting super tired because we have a very important game coming up. So I've just moved Santos to the left wing, Nunez at the right wing as that playmaker, and I brought in Bergancha. Caceres has also come in. So I changed the tactic a little bit just to kind of kill the game off. We have a 4-goal advantage. I don't want to have to push too hard with this, especially with this Benfica match coming up. All right, so let's see this highlight. First highlight of the second half, 76th minute, and it's going to start, at least, with Dynamo Kyiv. Down this right-hand side, which is where it feels like they've done most of their attacking, even though they haven't really done a whole lot. When they have done something, it's typically down that right-hand side. They're going to pull it all the way back to their center backs. They don't even look like they're playing with too much urgency, which they probably should be. Sunday finds Saigankov in a lot of space. He draws out a center back, goes for the corner. What a finish. His first goal of the season, Viktor Saigankov. I mean, not a whole lot you can do when the goals like that going against you. Like, defensively, I thought we did all right. Center back came over to kind of help defensively, and he just played, scored an absolute stunner. I mean, I feel like these guys should have done a little bit better, not closing down the same man at the same time, but that was a good finish. I'll give him credit, but I still don't think it's going to be enough. 2 minutes left. Looks like we're going to get the win on the day and over the 2 legs. 2-1 win. Didn't do much in that second half, but with the way I kind of pulled back, I didn't really expect us to do much. I would still like this to be a little bit better. I mean, I don't know, did we have a shot? We had 1 shot in that entire second half. They had 10. So, I mean, I'm assuming most of those were long shots because 6 long shots on the game. But I feel like they didn't really have any highlights that entire game. They scored a really good goal, but defensively I thought we were pretty good. Attacking-wise in that first half, we were really good. After I pulled things back, didn't really create much, but that's kind of been a common trend when we've really had good control over ties and gone to the second leg with an advantage. So, nothing to be too worried about, but we're going to have to play well in the next few days because Benfica are going to be better than Kyiv, undeniably. It is at home, so we have that advantage, but it's a huge match. I'm happy with how this tie went. We won the first leg and then went on to finish the job here. Kyiv threw about everything they could at you, and I thought you held on pretty well. Other than that one well-taken goal, I thought you defended pretty well for all 90 minutes. Going forward in that second half, we weren't quite good enough, though. I know I pulled things back. We played a little bit lower tempo. But with the quality we have, we should still be able to create chances, no matter the tempo we play at. We've got a big game coming up here in a few days. So get your bodies right and be prepared for a very tough 90 minutes. The match today looked like it could have gone either way. But is it fair to say you were relatively confident that you'd win? The way the game was going, the momentum always seemed to be just about favoring us. I thought we were able to get a result. 2-1 win, good game, and we are through back to the Champions League group stage where we should be. But I don't want it to end just at the group stage. We got to the semifinal last year. I want to go one step further this year. But it's going to take us getting through the group stage first. We've had a pretty tough group the last 2 years, and we won it both times. So hopefully we can make it 3 out of 3 this year. We have made it to the Champions League group stage, and we have been seeded second for the draw. This is the first year we've been in the Champions League and not been a first seed. So it's probably still going to be another tough group. If we look at the draw, the teams in the first seeds are, obviously I want Ajax. They're the only not ridiculous team that we can get. So, yeah, fingers crossed for Ajax. But, these second pot teams are all really good too. So, this competition's hard. It's so freaking hard. Let's draw the first groups. So, we want Group B. We can't get this first one, so we'll see who Benfica get. They get Roma. That's good. I want to see a Portuguese team actually do well in Europe for the first time in this save. So that's a good draw for Benfica. This is where we want to come out, though. Ajax. If we don't get drawn against Ajax, we've got a game that's going to be extremely difficult. So even Ajax isn't going to be easy, but it's definitely easier than Real Madrid, PSG, Liverpool. I just don't want to be in Liverpool's group. Please. Man City get Ajax. So, of these teams, probably Juventus or Bayern Munich. Maybe PSG. I don't want any of the English teams because they're just, or Real Madrid really. They're all just ridiculous. And they're probably the 3 best teams in the game. United, Liverpool, Real Madrid. So I don't really want either of those 3. Real Madrid get Dortmund. All right. PSG, wouldn't hate it, but not preferable. They get Wolfsburg. So, 50-50. 50% chance we get an English team, 50% chance we get Bayern or Juventus. I just don't want Liverpool. So if we get drawn here, it's not the worst thing. And we do have Manchester United. They got to the Champions League final last year, so they're obviously ridiculous. But, you're going to have to face a good team. Unless we got Ajax, we're going to have to face a good team. So, let's see who gets the rest of them. Tottenham get Bayern Munich, Barcelona get Juventus, and Liverpool get Lazio. So they get a pretty easy draw. Third seeds, there's not really a lot of massive teams in this. Napoli, pretty good. Monaco, not bad. Betis. So preferably I'd want like Feyenoord, Rangers, Shakhtar, Besiktas. But knowing our luck in the Champions League group stages, we're going to get Napoli. Let's see, Napoli can't be in this group, so they get Lille. Good to see them out by now. Ajax and Man City get Napoli. Napoli are out of the hat. Awesome. So, that was the toughest one, but I still don't really want Betis or Monaco. Maybe Monaco, I think they're not really that great, but I don't really want Betis. They can't be in this one, though, and so they get Monaco. Please, Real Betis. Besiktas. All right, we still got a pretty good chance to get a team I think we could definitely beat. Rangers and Feyenoord, probably the 2 easiest teams in this group. Maybe Besiktas up there, but give me Rangers. I've had the chance to get Rangers so many times that I've never gotten them. Give me Rangers. Give me an easy team to beat. Are we cursed, or do the Champions League gods just hate us? We are incapable of getting an easy team in the group. The second best team in that group we get. Because of course we freaking do. And probably the second best team in the first pot. Feyenoord, Shakhtar, and Liverpool get one of the easiest groups of all time. Lazio and Rangers. I don't think we have to worry about them getting through to the next round. I think they're pretty much guaranteed, no matter who they get in the fourth pot. So if these clubs, Hertha Berlin, obviously, I do not want, which means we're getting Hertha Berlin. We can't get Bilbao. I'd really take any of these other ones. Preferably Servette or Red Star. But we'll see. Ooh, that's a tough group. Things were looking so good for Benfica after that Roma draw, but then they get Lille and Bilbao. They're going to have to struggle to get out of that group again. Copenhagen, go to the next one. Celtic. That's who I really want. I really want Servette. I thought we could absolutely destroy them. Now I want Red Star. And Hertha Berlin is still there, which means I think it's about 99% chance we get Hertha Berlin right now. Olympiacos. So they're the easiest. That's what's ridiculous. They're the easiest team we've gotten in 3 years in the group stage. They're still pretty good. So that's kind of annoying. We literally have not gotten a single team that's just straight up bad. Moscow, Hertha Berlin, and of course, in what ends up being probably the easiest group of all time for Liverpool, they get Lazio, who are not bad, but still, they're not great. Rangers and Red Star. If they don't win every single game of that group, fire Klopp. So we get another tough draw. It's becoming standard at this point. We just get tough draws every single year, and nothing has changed. So frustrating. But we gotta get through it. I mean, I still think we can get through. I still think we can win it. I mean, it's probably the toughest group we've had to win because Manchester United are just stupidly good on this game, even though they're bang on average in real life. But I don't know. You can only play teams in front of you, so we're taking on Man United, but we've got another big game coming up in 2 days. Benfica in the league. We need to win. So it is time for Benfica. I mean, these matches recently have been kind of up and down. Recently they've been pretty close. It's usually a close win one or the other, but I mean, we've blown them out sometimes. They've blown us out sometimes, so anything can happen. I wouldn't be surprised about anything. Maybe I'd be a little surprised if we blow them out. But yeah, anything can happen in this match. Hopefully we show up and play well because, especially over the past couple of years, basically my whole time here, we've been super freaking inconsistent. But hopefully we can play well today. We need a good performance. That was a pretty good performance the last game against Kyiv in that first half especially, but we need a full 90-minute performance today if we're going to win this match. I just don't want to lose. A draw, I would accept. I wouldn't prefer it, but I'd accept a loss, and we are already in a really bad spot in the league. I shouldn't have to tell you how much today means to the fans. Do it for them. Expect an extremely tough 90 minutes. These games are never easy. You cannot switch off for 1 second of that entire 90 minutes because we've seen it before. They will take advantage of it. So basically an entire first half with no highlights, even though we had 12 shots, 6 on target. They had 1 shot, 1 on target. It's when you don't take advantage of this that you lose these matches. This is just written perfectly for Benfica to score a late goal to get the winner, even though they've done nothing all match. You cannot have this many chances and not score any of them against the likes of Benfica. Especially when you're holding them defensively. Defensively we've given ourselves the chance of still being in this without scoring a goal, but we have to be more clinical. We cannot have this many chances and not take any of them. That was not good enough. I don't like what I just saw from this team. Yeah, I might have had all the stats in that first half, but we have absolutely nothing to show for it. So what's the point? When you have periods of dominance, especially against teams the quality of Benfica, you have to take advantage of it. Because if you don't, eventually they will make you pay. So we're going to have to be much better in this second half. When you have matches of this caliber, we're going to have quite a few of them this season. You have to take your chances. If you don't, you're not going to be successful. 56 minutes in, not much has happened in this second half, but we're going to have a throw in down this left-hand side. We're going to put it in towards the back post, and Inaccio's going to hit it back across to Sesko. I think he's on. I don't know, I think Inacio was on as well, so I don't know who they're actually looking at. I'm assuming it was Sesko, but he looked onside to me. Hopefully it's going to count, and it is going to count. We finally get our goal. We dominated the first half and had nothing to show for it, but 56 minutes in, Sesko, good header at the back post, and it's from a throw-in. If you don't have long throw takers, I like this short throw. Put your center backs in the box and your tall strikers if you have them, and get in the cross and you can get those goals. So it's a good way to score goals without having a long throw. Free kick now. Pedro Gonzalez puts it in, but Ruan heads it over. 83rd minute. We've not had a highlight for a while. 84th actually. I made one change. Just went to cautious and brought in Ugarte for Mateus Nunez. A little bit of wasting time. A little bit of mostly I'm playing the same way. Just not quite as quickly distributing and wasting time a little bit and getting stuck in. I wanted to do that. We didn't have any yellow cards at that point, so I wanted to be physical. We've got 6 minutes left, though. We only have the 1 goal advantage. We need to hold on to it. Defensively, we played really well, so I don't want to make any changes there. Inacio actually has a little bit of a knock, but he's played really well, so I definitely don't want to take him off. And Caceres has been pretty dreadful, so That would be an awful substitution. In terms of what I'm actually going to do, I'm probably going to take off Tabata. He's on that yellow. And I'm considering bringing on a center back for him, actually. Going with 5 at the back. It might be a little bit negative, but I still think it's going to be the right thing to do. I still think we can score with our 2 men up top and Gonzalez in the midfield. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to put Ruan into the middle as a no-nonsense center back. And even though I slagged him off, I think I'm going to bring on Caceres. Or to bring on Dyer, actually. You know what? I don't think we need Caceres' physical ability, like his pace and everything like that. I'd rather have Dyer, who's just more technically sound and more mentally sound. So he's going to come in actually to play center back. And we're going to put our fullbacks on support. Keep Bergman Johannes as a wing back, but put him on support. And we're fully wasting time now. I'm not going to go trying to hold possession because we're probably not going to be able to against Benfica. So I still want to play our style of game, but let's see this game out. We like to concede late against Benfica. So hopefully that doesn't happen today. Last 2 times, we've actually been the one that scored late in the match. But we might be able to hold out for the win this time. 1 sub left. We fully deserve this win. They have done absolutely nothing. We've been the much better team. And for the last sub, I don't know who I'm going to take off, actually. Maybe Aguilar for Escayo. Maybe bring in a DK up top to be like a pressing forward, just to put some more pressure on their back line, not giving as much time on the ball. I think I'm actually going to make that sub. I'm going to take off Storyloth, bring on DK, put him as a pressing forward on attack. And in terms of instructions, I'm going to stop hitting early crosses. But I think I'm going to do about everything else. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else I really want to change. I'll use tighter marking because they're going to be taking a few more long shots. I'm going to keep the lineup. I know I'm going to drop it a little bit. Drop it just a little bit. Because if they're going to hold on to the ball with their center backs, I'll let them. All right, please no highlights. Is this a highlight just because I made a change, or is this a legitimate highlight? I don't know. Our changes actually haven't gone through yet. We're going to go for a long ball to our strikers, but Benfica ultimately win it. Goal kick out. Only goes back to our goalkeeper. Picks it up. I'm assuming that's the end of the highlight, or is it going to keep going? We've seen a lot of times with these goal kicks, they eventually turn into something because we have the likes of Sesko and Sorloth and DK up top. You could win these headers or just have it drop to their feet. Sorloth to put it away. That's how I like to end the game. I don't like to end it holding on for dear life. I like putting them away. We might have brought on a center back, gone a little bit more defensive, but we're always dangerous with balls over the top. Usually it's from headers on, from our strikers. This time, they allow the ball to drop. Sorloth picks it up, left foot, bottom corner. Game over. Huge win. And we do get the win. That is massive, especially considering how Benfica started this season. They've already played Porto, and they beat them 5-1. So, in our first matchup against them, to just completely dominate them. Going forward, they didn't do anything. We had so many chances. Probably should have scored more, but they do have a really good goalkeeper. I'm sure got a good rating, 7.1. So, I don't really have much complaints with that performance. I thought we were pretty solid. First half wasn't that great. But we came out in the second half, played pretty well, took our chances, and got the win. Awesome. I'm delighted with that win, and particularly being able to beat our rivals. Well done. That was a much better second half. Defensively, you were fantastic, especially after we got that first goal, and they really started pushing to get a goal back. And going forward, I'm glad you were able to take your chances. We didn't have a lot of better chances. We just took the ones we had. That's what I like to see. We need to build from this, though. We've had kind of an up and down start to the season. We need to start to find a little bit of consistency. You must be pleased with the win over your rivals. It's a great result for all of us, but I'm especially pleased for the fans. We couldn't have done it without them. How are you going to handle being without Gonzalo Inacio while due to injury? How long is he out? Damaged foot. That could be bad. I didn't even see that. When did that happen? Again, or anyone would miss a player of his caliber, but we have to be positive. Someone else now has to step up in his absence. Hopefully he's not out for long. That could be a massive loss. I really thought we needed another center back, and at this point we're not able to bring one in. Caceres has not been good the last 2 seasons especially. So we still have a little bit of transfer window left. I still really want a center back, especially if this injury is significant. Inacio actually got made in a match, but I haven't looked to see how bad this injury is yet. Let's take a look together. Please don't be bad. 2 to 4 weeks. All right, could be worse. Could have been a multiple month injury, but still not ideal with a lot of Champions League matches coming up, some really tough ones as well. That is not ideal. Hopefully it's closer to that 2. Even then, Not preferable. I definitely want to bring in a center back now. But yeah, big loss. But I'm pretty optimistic. We played really well today. The first leg wasn't the best performance, but that first half was really good. And both halves against Benfica were pretty good. Obviously, offensively, we weren't quite as good that first half. We created a lot. We just couldn't finish. That second half, really good, well-rounded performance. In terms of when we're going to come back, we've got Manchester United pretty soon. But I think I want to show the last game against Man United because that's probably going to be the determiner for where we finish in the group. It typically is. So I think I'm actually going to come back for this Olympiacos match. And probably Chavez. Unless there's a big draw in the Touch of Portugal third round, which is not very common. I'll probably come back for Olympiacos and Chavez. Should be, well, it is the away leg. I was going to say it should be the winnable match in this group, but it is the away leg, but we still kind of need to win if we have any chance of winning this group. Manchester United at home, obviously a win would be huge, but I'd definitely take a draw. So that's going to be it for this episode, though. I'll see you next time for Olympiacos and Chavez. If you made it this far, why don't you like the video, subscribe, and click the bell? The links to all my socials and my Twitch are in the description. I really appreciate all your support. Thank you all for joining me, and I'll see you next time.